more time. Goes first person camera, check the world location, get the world location plus the rotation of the camera. Go, oh, cool, you're trying to do this. Run the trace. If it hits, break hit result. Take these and do this. Now, I could take all of this, copy it, post it over here, make another one, make another one, make another one. But that's tedious. I mean, it'll work, I'll show you, just to be sure that we're on the same page. So, now in this case, we want to take the mirror vectors return and plug it into here. And that'll work every single time. Now it'll do 2 bounces. So if I hit tab, if you look, it comes over here, bounce, and it's like, oh, okay, you're bouncing over here. Boom. Oh, okay, now you bounce. And it doesn't matter where you put it, it's always pretty much going to do the same thing. But this was not good enough for me. So I'm going to delete this. Boop. And I'm going to show you what I did to kind of make it my own. That was what TJ has done. So pretty awesome stuff. Not going to lie. And it is the entire basis for what I'm doing, which actually isn't significantly different. It just makes it to where you can make this much more modular very quickly. I need 2 variables, or actually I need 3 variables. I need 2 vectors. Start location, end location, and then I need an integer that we call max bounce. Now the reason I put max bounce in here is so that we don't end up in a scenario where it just completely crashes. Okay. Last thing. I need a custom event. We're going to call this custom event bounce. Okay. And we're going to do this very carefully. So, like I was saying, this is pretty much wholly inefficient for trying to do, like there was a old, and by old I mean a few years, maybe 10 years or so, there was an old game where it was a 2D puzzle game, and what you would do, you were a hitman and you were trying to kill as many people in one shot as you could. It was a puzzle game. And so you would aim it, fire, the bullet would ricochet around, and for every enemy you hit, as long as it didn't hit the same exact area, or not hit for a certain amount of time, you know, like let's say it was just going off in the distance, you would get points based on that. And it was kind of like one of those 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, how many did you kill at once kind of things. Well, that's kind of what we're going for here. Set new set start lock, and set end location. Okay, so right here we're starting off by taking these out of the equation, kind of. And by taking them out, I mean it's just not hard coded in. We're going to take this and go, you are now start location, you are now end location. And we're going to take this, Control C, Control V. So, getting the same information here goes through, and it's like, okay, well, you are now the start location, you are now the end location. And now run bounce. Run this. Run this. Okay. Now what we're going to do, I'm actually going to have this running in the false. Greater than or equal to if max bounce, which we're going to make editable, is just making it editable really isn't that useful here. Boop. Okay, so we've got max bounce. If it is greater than or equal to 50, we're going to set max bounce to 0 and then do nothing else. Here we're going to set, well, I guess here it won't matter because it's already gone through. Okay, so if it is false, we go through start and end location, out hit, break hit result, branch. If true, okay, if false, set max bounce to 0. If true, set start location, set end location, and bounce. So you can kind of see where this is going. Boom. Get end location. Now we have one more, which is set max bounce to max bounce plus 1. So one thing I thought of that we could do is set this to this, compile, open, there. So now, if max bounce ends up reaching the bounce ceiling, which would be 50 in this case, which you can always alter later, then stop and set max bounce to 0. If not, run through and run bounce again, and it just keeps looping through until it either doesn't hit something or it reaches the max bounce limit. So let's see what it looks like now. Kind of comes through and it's like, oh, and we bounce here and bounce all over there. And kind of do like that. Huh, that's interesting. I'll all kinds of fun little. Though it's interesting to me that it's kind of choosing to skip along here. Makes me wonder what might be going on. Where did everything go? Okay, here we go. I know this is the correct math, and I did this just a little while ago, but then again I did it in 4.8.2, and so there might be something that wasn't quite right in 4.7 that is right in 4.8. Let me do... We're going to set that to 5,000. How about that? That way it has plenty of space to go. There we go. That's what the problem was. It just didn't have quite enough space. This is what it looks like when it's actually working correctly. And of course, I have made a web of lies. So yeah, that is that. I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little fun thing to do if you ever wanted to make a game where, you know, let's say one of your character's powers is kind of like Wanted Weapons of Fate-esque, and you could come in and bounce a bullet off of a bunch of surfaces and you wanted to be able to track where it was going. That's one way to do it. And then, you know, every bounce it just get the reflection vector, boom, next one, boom, next one, boom, next one, boom, and you could determine exactly how many you wanted to have do that. And of course, let's see. So yeah, that's that. Thought it was pretty cool. Wanted to share. Thank you for coming up with the initial thing for this, TJ. Because it is pretty awesome. And I mean, that's it right there. That is all of the data you need. All of the functionality to run basically infinitely many traces. If you wanted to bump this up to, you know, like something ridiculous, like 1,000. Why you would ever do this, I don't know. But if you wanted to, please don't do this. You might actually break your editor because you hit an infinite loop. Actually, what is infinite loop detected in with gate following? Why is an infinite loop being detected there? That's interesting. I actually don't know what happened there. So yeah, if you want to, you know, break everything, do that. I'm actually gonna test that at work later and see what may have happened. And see, what's really cool about it is because you can use it on multiple surfaces. So let's say get first person template rounded cube. Bloop. And you got this thing, you just coming up and you're like, boom. Based on where you aim it, completely reacts to that. As opposed to, you know, a typical thing where it's like, okay, yay, it'll actually show you why it responded.